Assalamualaikum and a very good day. So today I will present to you on sensory registration problem. And I know this topic seems very big words, but I will help you to go through with it. So next is what content that we want to focus on is the introduction to sensory registration problem, sensation seeking behavior, and also over responsiveness. So let's go. The first one is introduction to sensory registration problem. So the first one, if you see that sensory registration integration is the organization of sensory input, meaning to say that uh, sensory comes from the brain. So brain interprets all of the information through sensory. And that's why when you see that when CNS works, means central nervous system, and what are the system consists of, which is the brain and the spinal cord, tunjang ni. It able to pay attention to a stimulus and when to ignore it. Meaning to say that, for example, if we were to touch the slime, people who has sensory integration problem would find it very, very, very uncomfortable to touch it. It's like there's a negative emotion to it. But for us, when sin is able to work, we can pay attention. Oh, this is a slime, and we can ignore the gelitness. We call it the rasa gelit terhadap slime tu. So yeah, the term sensory registration problem is used to refer to difficulties of a person who frequently fail to attend to or register environmental stimuli. Senang kata, sensory registration problem, they are having difficulty untuk detect all the senses, especially when it comes to touches, balance, visual, smell, and many more senses. So the next one is sensation seeking behavior. Meaning to say that when it comes to this term, the most important thing is we can observe them as they seek to in for intense stimulation in the sensory modalities that are affected. Let's say, for example, tactile. For example, if we tickle, there's a geli, tapi tiba-tiba dia nak lagi, maknanya they are seeking more of the feeling geli, and that's what we say that this is a tactile defensiveness comes here. Whenever they feel overwhelmed with that touches, but they want more, so until they feel desensitized desensitized or have enough touches to the point that they can ignore the rasa geli when we touch them. So, for example, hyperresponsive meaning under lack of responsive towards vestibular stimuli can be manifested to intense stimulation when responded to the equipment including seperti contoh kita suruh dia walk on balance beam, dia yang lack of response towards balance, maybe macam looking for more jatuh. So yes, looking for more balance, and that's why they macam naik balik walaupun jatuh, naik balik sampai dia rasa macam they can feel more balance. And then untuk children yang sensation seeking behavior towards proprio, which means pressure, we can see them as tactile defensiveness atau contoh macam pro- as an act of protecting themselves, like macam why are you touching me but still wanted to be touched. So that's an example of sensation seeking behavior. Next is over responsiveness. Over responsiveness is, of course, I don't have to explain it because it's over. So they respond to the stimuli, but it is uh, on top, to top of the world. So the example is hyperresponsivity. Sensory defensiveness, overwhelmed by normal sensory input. Contoh kita peluk dia macam move away from it. So that's an example of the hyper responsibility. This is due to this hyper responsibility can be manifested in the form of strong negative emotion like crying, throw tantrum, or angry, or tepis tangan. That's an example of it. and it's also followed by the activation of sympathetic nervous system. Activation of sympathetic nervous system in a easy way fight or flight situation where they feel like they need to escape from being touched or being experienced to that sensory. And then when it comes to tactile defensiveness, it's a tendency to overreact to ordinary touch sensation. For example, if we touch, kita bagi slime, kita bagi play-doh, for example, or anything in different texture, they would show that tactile defense is like, no, get away from me. Like, that's an example in children. So, and this is the common seated. Okay, we can see common behavior. We can see to tactile defensiveness is anxiety, throwing tantrum, emotional distress. So, gravitational insecurity is something to do with kita katakan gayat because they don't feel like they are secure enough when it comes to balance themselves. For example, gravitational insecurity yang kita boleh nampak ialah contoh tangga ni tak nampak tinggi. Tapi untuk dia, dia nampak tinggi to the point dia rasa takut nak naik tangga tu and dia akan tunjuk symptoms macam fear, strong fear macam ataupun macam ataupun genggam tangan kita bila kita nak naikkan dia tangga. So this is an example, a form of over responsiveness to sensation. Ini soalnya ada insecure relationship to gravity, kata by excessive fear. Ordinary movement activity could be walking upstairs or downstairs stairs, wall climb, ataupun simply just naik atas kursi, ataupun just kita shake a bit of the chair dan terus no, I don't want. So yeah, and common reaction kita akan nampak ialah extreme fearfulness lah. So that's all from me. Thank you very much.